deep in the jungle.
From the ancient temples of Angkor Wat to the killing fields outside the capital city of Phnom Penh, Cambodia has seen its fair share of beauty and brutality.
Everyone you talk to there had in some way been impacted by the whole Pol Pot regime.
According to the United States State Department, the name Khmer Rouge was given to a left-wing Cambodian faction in the 1950s, led by the man named Pol Pot, that gained control of Cambodia in 1975 and then began one of the century's greatest massacres.
Whether they themselves had been in prison, family members in prison, tortured, murdered, no one was left untouched.
Many Cambodians, accused of supporting the U.S. government, were taken to the secret police headquarters at this former school, photographed, tortured, and killed. By the time Pol Pot had been ousted in 1979, he had already killed as many as 2 million people.
You could tell. I mean, these were people that had suffered terribly. And to whatever degree you could kind of restore their faith in humankind by just showing up.
But getting there was half the battle, be it by dirigible or donkey.
We would board every morning on this little river barge in Phnom Penh, and we'd head upriver, little waterfront properties. And we'd pull up and transfer our heavier materials to a little horse-drawn cart, but you know, Cambodia is under an awful lot of water and heavy rains, and so making our way through the trails was pretty tough.
Everywhere they went, the need was incredible. Every morning the lines would form, and it seemed like they never ended.
In Cambodia, you couldn't help but to want to, do one more case, do one more case. And if you ever want sort of a description or an understanding of how desperate people might be, it all manifests itself on the day you're packing up to leave. Anyone who thinks that they've lost the opportunity to be seen on that last day, you can really see them scrambling to get care or to get some of that medicine, of any kind of medicine that might diminish their miseries.
After a week in Cambodia, the team jumped to Vietnam for another week. It was there that Dr. Repicci would find and experience something that none of his other trips could possibly prepare him for.
The first 3 or 4 days we were there, we had to make our way through various government agencies in order to get approved to provide treatment. A lot of people that I mentioned that to, questioned why the Vietnamese had to be so skeptical of our presence. And I understand it, because there have been so many people that have crisscrossed that country with their own agenda that has interfered with the tranquility of the nation, that certainly they're skeptical of who's there and why.
The once treacherous Mekong Delta, an ambush area for the Viet Cong, is now lined with fishing boats and marketplaces. And although the Vietnam War ended in 1975, its legacy lives on, and that legacy was about to hit Dr. Repicci like a slap across the face. On his last day in Vietnam, with a few hours to sightsee, he decided to visit an area known as the Cu Chi Tunnels. It was there he found something he never expected.
But as I was leaving, they had this little artifact center and a little gift shop, and I was moseying my way through, and I saw this box of dog tags. My thoughts were, could they be missing in action? Could they be killed in action? Were they discarded?
As an Army veteran himself, Dr. Repicci says he knows how important and personal dog tags can be. Out of the 50-plus dog tags for sale, Dr. Repicci bought 3 and undertook a mission to locate the men who they belonged to. After hitting dead ends at U.S. Representative Christopher Shea's office and the Office of Veteran Administration, Dr. Repicci went to a private firm. Within days, he had a possible match. It seems there was a Lyle Harn living in California. Dr. Repicci had an address but no phone listing, so he wrote Harn a letter, mailed it, and basically forgot about it until just a few days ago.
And on Christmas morning at 11:30, the phone rang, and we were with the kids unwrapping our gifts, and he was on the other end, and he said, "I can't believe you've got my tags." I said, "Hello, who's this?" He says, "This is Lyle Harn." And he says, "I don't know whatever happened to my tags. I know I didn't have them when I left the service. But if you found those tags in Vietnam," he says, "they're mine, and I'd love to have them back again."